Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class. So right now we continue from our last week's uh, study. So right now we have completed till text number 36. So we have seen um text number 36, which is partly enjoyment and partly sinful reaction. So today we will start with text number 37 and 38. So if we go back to the shloka, so यद्यपि एतेन पश्यन्ति लोभोपहत चेतसा कुलक्षये कृतं दोष मित्रद्रोहे च पातकं कथं न नेह अस्माभि पापा अस्मान् निवर्तितुं कुलक्षये कृतं दोषं प्रपयस्यद्भिर्जनार्दन. So here, interesting is that these two parts are repeating. So this is something which we need to understand. And the name Janardana will repeat many times in this section. So this is something which is interesting for us to understand as we go here. So what it means is that we know that Duryodhana is blinded by greediness. Arjuna is telling to Krishna that that Duryodhana is blinded by greediness, and because he is greedy, he is not able to see things as they are. So, Ojana, although these men, their hearts being overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends. Why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? So, if we just go back here, we need to understand one important thing that when uh, during the entire Mahabharata episode, Pandu gets the kingdom because Dhritarashtra was blind, and he was not only blind in terms of physical a lack of physical faculty, but he was also blind in addressing the overall issues of the country. That is also there. He was not as progressive as Pandu was. So Pandu was given the responsibility of leading the Kuru kingdom. So he becomes the king. Pandu wins a large portion of the land, and then just a moment. So he wins a large portion of land. Once he wins a large portion of land, what happens is that um, he is not satisfied with the growth he has seen in the expanding the kingdom. Therefore, he wants to find some peace. He wants to find some peace. So he leaves the kingdom. He gives the kingdom to Dhritarashtra, and he goes to forest. He goes along with his wife. At some point of time, Pandu gets a view that he has to find people who will rule the kingdom once he leaves this world. So he looks for his uh, no, inheritor of the kingdom. He wants so he goes with Kunti and tries to get children. But in parallelly, what happens is that Dhritarashtra thinks that Pandu is no way is not interested in the kingdom. So, being just a caretaker, um, he develops an attachment for the kingdom. But slowly, the caretaker view changes into complete ownership. And and when Pandu, or when there is no news from Pandu or his children, Dhritarashtra thinks that his son is going to become the king, and Duryodhana, who is born there, he becomes a spoiled child. So he is pampered. Dhritarashtra thinks that Duryodhana's ways need not be mended, but slowly what happens is he becomes a spoiled child. Especially Kauravas in total become insensitive. They are non-accommodating. They are not caring. They are very ungodly, and so but still they had no other the kingdom or the people or the people within in the court have to manage or get adjusted to the bad behavior of Kauravas. But once Pandu dies, and when the mourning ceremony is all over, the Pandavas, they come back to the palace in the Kuru kingdom. So when they come back to the palace, they see the people, and the people in the court see the people in the kingdom and the court. They see the distinction in the characteristics between Pandavas and Kauravas. So slowly, the good behavior of Pandavas gets them a place in everyone's heart. So previously, Duryodhana was the center of focus within the kingdom, but now it is the Pandavas. So Duryodhana nurses a envy and anger attitude towards Pandavas. So he thinks that the Pandavas have usurped his position. So he is always looking for their downfall, destruction, humiliation. And slowly, from the young age till he becomes youth, it from a small objective, it becomes the goal of his life. So he enacts a lot of conspiracies, and this war is the final conspiracy. So according to Arjuna here, he says that I, being a good guy, I know that I am not greedy, but I know that Duryodhana is evil minded, he is greedy. I am able to see the things that by killing them, there's nothing going to come out good. So I don't want to fight, because I know uh, I am able to see, get a better vision of what is going to happen. But Duryodhana, he just wants to fulfill his objective of killing all of us. So he does not see this. So when we see why we should fight, let them take the kingdom, and we will leave the battlefield. That is the argument from Arjuna. So he sees that why we need to unnecessarily take sinful reaction, and instead of just sinning by killing them, we will just give this kingdom to them and we'll go forward. So here we see that I'm just sharing my screen again. So he sees that Arjuna could see the evil consequences and could not accept the challenge. The
Excuse me, Prabhuji.
obligation is act.
Sorry, the sharing is not functioning for some reason. So
Okay, just a moment. So yeah,
yeah, now it's
Arjuna, however, could see the evil consequences and could not accept the challenge. The obligation is actually binding when the effect is good, but when the effect is otherwise, then no one can be bound. Considering all these pros and cons, Arjuna sees that it should not fight. So Arjuna is seeing that. There is no, he does not have any greed for the kingdom, and he does not see a problem in giving the kingdom to them, because there is no, there will not be any sinful reaction. So that is why he wants to give the kingdom back to them and give up the fighting. So that is the key thing here. There is one more verse in 9.34 and 9.34. Just a moment. This is also interesting thing that we need. And 18.65. We will see. So we can see this Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskaru Mam Eveshyasi Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosime. So same way 9.34. So we can see that these two are different, but these two lines are just repeating. So in this one, it is devotees' dedication to devotional service, and in 18.65, it is Krishna's promise to the devotee how he would take care if devotee surrenders unto him. So this is similar to the repetition of these two lines. So in Bhagavad Gita, we can see this in two instances. One is within 1.3738, other one 9.34 and 18.65. But you can we can actually see that Kula is now the main focus of Arjuna is Kulakshaya. It is Kula Dharma. So that is what we will see in the next shloka also. Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatana dharme naste kulakrishnam adharmo abhavati uta. So you can see here pranashyanti and sanatana. So these two are opposites, vanquished and eternal. And we see that Arjuna is telling Kula Dharma as Sanatana, but we know that Atma Dharma is Sanatana. Atma Dharma means service to Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Sanatana Dharma. It is not the Kula Dharma, which is Sanatana. So here we need to see two things. There are there are two dharmas. One is Apara Dharma, other one is Paradharma. Apara Dharma is a lower level dharma, and Apara Dharma is also required because Apara Dharma governs the relationship between husband and wife, children and parents, children respecting parents, children taking care of the older parents. These are all apara dharma. So if this is not there, then it will be very difficult for this society to act. But this dharma which we are talking about is not all in all. This helps us to build the paradharma. So anything to do with society or the social setup is aparadharma. So that is what um, our Arjuna is talking about here. So when he says this, when he says that kula dharme sanatana, sanatana means the dharma which will help in running of the society. That is what he is meaning here. So the system of varnashrama. So now how important is varnashrama? Varnashrama institution is not eternal religion. but it helps us to make a society where it becomes easy for us to practice bhakti. So, so this is what Prabhupada has always told. So he said that 50% of his work is not completed because Varnashrama societies are not set up. Why Varnashrama societies is important? So if we discuss this point, so first thing, in a modern society, we see that there is mixing of men and women, and there is no um, everywhere there is a profit mentality. Everybody wants to make money through hook or crook. Third one, so when they want to make it through hook or crook, so they sell meat, whatever they want, they sell, and there is gambling and there is intoxication. So all this gambling, intoxication, sex trade, and selling of non-vegetarian food, all this is for the purpose of making money. So in a Varnashram society, there won't be any competition. The major focus will be self-development and self-improvement, and society should help each other. So it will be the society will be complementing one another. When society complements one another, the main focus of the society will be the improvement of society towards the ultimate goal, which is going back home, back to Godhead. But when the society is competing with one another, then even the basic survival need, like to get food, becomes a major challenge. So that is why Varnashram society is required. So is Varnashram society all in all? No, it is not all in all, but it is a very good support system for us to practice our bhakti. If we have a temple within a small Varnashram society or a farm community, then it is easy for us to go there. We need not have to travel 1 hour, 1.5 hours, spend money to travel to the temple, and with all the sometimes we miss the Mangalarti, sometimes it's very hectic, we fall ill, the food that is available is not good. Sometimes the food, the prasad, we are not able to get prasad. But if a Varnashram society is there and everybody takes care of each other, then it is easy for us to practice bhakti. Everybody need not have to cook, um, because everybody will share the responsibility. The children of the village will be taken care as the children of the entire community. So cooking can be done in one single place. There could be some small gathering where children can be fed in one single go, or everybody, there'll be only one family which will grow rice, one family will grow vegetables, one family will grow pulses. So like that, there will be one priest who takes care of the no the sacrifices or yagna ceremonies of the entire community. There could be one pujari who takes care of the deities of the entire community. There could be one teacher who teaches the children all they need to learn. So it becomes a complementing society which reduces pressure. So we will have enough time for reading Srimad Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavad Gita, and so on. So this type of society is very very helpful for our self development. So it is a society, a social setup. It is not all in all, but it is required for us to practice bhakti very easily. So that is why varnashram system is very important. So Arjuna's point here is that if this setup is destroyed, then the entire family tradition will get destroyed. So the society will fall down. That is his point. But it is not so important, because if bhakti is there, then varnashram system can easily be brought in. So that is the important thing here. I'll just go back to the next sloka. अधर्म अभविति अभवित कृष्ण प्रद्युष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रिया स्त्रीषु दुष्टाशु वार्ष्णेय जायते varnashankara. This varshneya is a new name, um, which I'm not able to find in Vishnu Sasana. I may have to study this again. I have to get back to you on this point. So here, the main thing that we need to understand is the repetition of Varnashrama principles, which we discussed last. Then there is something to do with women of the family. This is one important thing. And there is one more point here: not very intelligent, therefore not trustworthy. So, when we, if we read the translation here, when irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. Now, adharma is, we can simply take dharma to be bull which has four legs. So, so each leg stands for few things, which is um, Satyam, Daya, Tapa, Saucham. Satyam means truthfulness. Daya means mercifulness. Satyam, Daya, Tapa, austerity. Saucham means cleanliness. Satyam, truthfulness means no gambling. Daya means mercy, no meat eating. Satyam, Daya, Tapa, austerity, no illicit sex. Sex only for getting Krishna conscious children for the purpose of propagating Krishna consciousness all over the world. Satyam, Daya, Tapas, Saucham. Cleanliness. Internal cleanliness is to ensure that we don't take alcohol or coffee, tea, chocolate, and so on. So, all these are resulting in dharma. Once we follow this, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, then there is dharma in the society. When women follow this, they also become uh, dharmic. They also become dharmic. Now, when we do not follow this, then our entire outlook of the life is sense enjoyment. And as soon as we get into sense enjoyment, uh, it is fulfilling of itches of the skin. So whether it is tongue, genitals, eyes, ears, nose, whatever it is fulfillment of skin. So in some cases it is touch, some cases it is sound, some cases it is sight, some cases it is taste. So, but it is all fulfillment of each of the skin. So once we get into that, we are polluted, and this pollution results in unwanted progeny. Now, there is an interesting thing. I'm just sharing my screen once again. So there is one interesting thing which we need to see. Prabhupada has quoted Chanakya Pandita. According to Chanakya Pandita, women are generally not very intelligent. So how should we understand this? So women are generally, uh, we can see that we are at the level of soul. We are all, there is no sex like male or female. Spiritually, everybody is soul. At material level, also, we see women are very strong in society. They are occupying prominent positions in political field, in business, in education, science, law, and many other places. We see that women have taken a very good position. We also see in India, at least, we could see that women study very well, much better than the male or the boys. Girls study much better than boys. But then, what is Prabhupada mean? What does Prabhupada mean when he says that They are generally not very intelligent. So here we need to understand it is the interaction of the soul and the body. As soon as the soul takes the female form, then the self worth and attractiveness of the body takes the predominance. So, women body always attracts men, and it always wants to find how many eyes are seeing me. Is somebody looking at my dress? Is somebody looking at my hair? Is somebody looking at my skin color? And so on. So, this bodily identification is very high in the female body, and this results in if somebody praises them for their beauty, for their appearance, then they become emotional, and it is easy for men to topple them. So, women, Prabhupada has mentioned somewhere else in his books that women are sentimental, or their sentimentality is much higher than their thoughtfulness and rationality. So that means they can easily become devotees, but at the same time they can also become trapped by sweet words of men. But men in general are very rational. Their identification with the body is very less. Therefore, their body helps them to focus on spiritual content, higher thoughtful subjects much easier. That is why women are considered to be less intelligent. That is the point here. Now, Prabhupada is bringing the point of Chanakya Pandita. Chanakya Pandita, is he a spiritual guide? No, he's not a spiritual guide. But many of the insights that he is talking about is at the social level, and at social level, these insights, when we use it, it gives very good direction. For example, Varnashrama Dharma is not bhakti in itself, but it is a very good guidance for practicing bhakti. Same way, Chanakya Pandita's insight on society, on emotion, and so on is a good guidance for us to practice bhakti, but it is not complete in itself. So, in this specific case, Prabhupada uses why men are required in the society. So, women always is to be guided in her childhood days. She should be guided by her father. In her young age, when she gets married, she should be guided by her husband. uh, in if she her father dies before she gets married, her brother has to take care of her. If her husband dies, then her eldest son has to take care of her. So always she should be under protection of a man, because uh, our rationality is very less. That is how we should understand Chanakya Pandita's rule. But everybody has to chant their rounds. They need to follow the four regulatory principles, but with this social guidance. That is how we should understand. And even in case of men, when a brahmachari is totally spaced out, then it is better that he gets association of a women in the form of wife, so that he becomes focused in his family, and then this brings in much more discipline. So that way, this social arrangement of following brahmacharya in association of all brahmacharis brings much more rationality to the thinking, and does not allow the mind to wander much. The other social arrangement is that brahmachari marries and gets in association of a woman, and keeps guidance in his no, social guidance for his no, spiritual life. So that is how we should understand. So that is how This Varnashram Dharma or Chanakya Pandita are to be used in our bhakti. Okay, so I think Varshnaya, I will come back to you again. There is a point open from my side. I need to get back to you on this. I'll go to the next one. Shankaro Narakayaiva Kulagnanam Kulasyacha Patanti Pitaro Yesha Lupta Pindodakakriya. So here there is one interesting shloka. Devarishi Bhutapta Nirnam Pitrana Na Kinkaro Nayam Rini Charajan Sarvatmaya Sharanam Saranyam Kato Mukundam Parirtya Krita. We need to know one important thing, that in this world, in this world, everybody is here, is there to give us Krishna's love. What Krishna wants to give to us comes from others. For example, Devarishi. Devarishi is demigods. Deva Rishi. So for Devatas, we do Karmakanda sacrifices. For sages, we do self study of scriptures. And for forefathers, we give Shraddha ceremonies. For rest of the people, like in case of Prabhupada's father, he used to keep a bag of or a cup of rice or eatables within his shop, so that rats or whichever animal is there within his shop, they can eat, and no, they remain, no, they don't suffer much. So we have um, obligations with all of them. Why we have obligations with all of them? Because they give us what Krishna wants to give to us. For example, mother feeds a child. It is not because mother wants to feed, it is because Krishna wants to feed us food. It comes through our mother. So we are obligated to our parents. Demigods give us rain, sunshine, moonlight, fruits, vegetables, and so on, water. So, how does it come? It comes from Krishna, but through the agency of demigods. Krishna wants to give us during this season, it comes to us, but through the agency of demigods. The scriptures comes to us from Krishna, but through the agency of sages. So living entities around us create problems for us. Some cases, sometimes they give no, they give us, say for example, plants give us very good fruits, grains, and so on. So they give us something to eat to nourish us, so that we can read scriptures, we can devote our time in doing sacrifice. Animals give us ghee, they give us very good milk, they give us, help us in transportation, they help us to plow the fields. So that way they we are obligated to them, but all this is coming from Krishna. So whoever is a devotee of a Krishna is not obligated to them. That is the thing. But here Arjuna is telling all this, that we are obligated to the pitris, or we are obligated to ancestors, and we need to give the regular sacrifices. If he kills the family members, there is nobody to take care of the ancestral rights. So what will happen to the entire family? He thinks that the entire family will degrade further, because the sacrifices to the ancestors are not given on time. But that is not critical, because that is not the ultimate religion. Ultimate religion is to fulfill the uh, interest of Krishna, because we are here because of our forgetfulness of Krishna, and we need to regain that a memory and go serve him and go back home, back to God. That is the original thing. So there is one point here, which is prasadam. So if we offer food offered to Krishna, to our forefathers, they are going to get released from ghostly and miserable life. So there is an interesting thing that we can talk here. One is that Pitris are just above the earthly planet. So in Pitri Loka, all the souls, all the living entities are hanging upside down, and they are praying to Krishna to give a good parents, to give good parents. Why they need a good parent? They need a good parent so that um, they can be born again on earth. So they are constantly praying to Krishna. So at one point, a man and a woman get married and they do a garbhadana samskara, and in a prayerful attitude they pray to Krishna. And when they pray to Krishna, then one Pitriloka soul gets released from Pitriloka and he enters, comes down to earth in the form of rain. And that rain goes to the field. And in the field, it can fall in ditch, it can fall in stool, it can fall in a paddy field, it can fall in a slaughterhouse, it can fall anywhere. But wherever it falls, it is absorbed by some living entity in the form of water. So rice plant, paddy, it absorbs water, and this rice grows as a plant, and one of the grain there has the soul, and this rice is taken to for cooking in the Krishna's kitchen, where boga is prepared and is offered to Krishna, and that is eaten by the devotees after it is offered to Krishna. So it is sanctified food. When you eat that, that soul gets chance to get into the body of the devotee. So that is how the forefathers get released. So it is a cycle. We will see this in chapter number 3 in Anada Bhavanti Bhutani Parjanyat Anna Samavad. So this is a very interesting shloka that we will see in chapter number 3. But right now we need to understand that Krishna consciousness will take care of all the sinful, sinful life that we are already spent in Pitriloka. How we can avoid all that by just taking prasada. Okay, so I'll just share my screen once again. दोषे एते कुलज्ञानं वर्णशङ्करकारके उत्सादयन्ते जातिधर्मः कुलधर्मस्य शाश्वतः. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community and family welfare activities are devastated. So, so we need to ensure that uh, that we take care of Varnashrama society, farm societies where we get chance to um, spend time on Krishna conscious activity and do self study where we take care of rishis, where we fulfill the desires of rishis. We regularly offer um food to Krishna so that the the devtas are taken care, and same way all living entities around us are taken care because we do not harm them, and we grow everything for satisfaction of Krishna without exploiting the earth. So when we do this, we have peace in our life and we can follow our Krishna conscious activity much easily. So So this is, if we follow Krishna consciousness, then automatically this part of the thing is carried. This one we can easily avert. So overall, whatever Arjuna is talking about is at a very fundamental level, at a bodily level. So we know how this gets sorted out in the future, next set of slokas, next chapters. How Krishna answers this, that becomes the Bhagavad Gita. But whatever he is talking is from the material conception point of view. I'll go to the next shloka. उत्सन्न कुलधर्माणां मानुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवतीति अनुशुश्रुमा. So here, one important thing that we need to do understand is narake niyatam vaso. So this life in hell, eternal hell, that is what is always. This one it means that it's for a long duration. So if we see, there is a lot of contrast between the Abrahamic religion and the Vedic religion. Abrahamic religion has believe in us, or otherwise you will burn in hell for eternity. It is not this is not a good theology. It is a puerile theology, because um, even a system created by men has something called as mercy and rework, or we can ask for pardon, and we can work again and improve ourselves. When such a system is available in a simple legal system created by men, how come a system of God does not have a system of mercy, or good life again, so that I can improve? So this way of uh, non eternally burning hell is very very puerile theology. Here also Arjuna's talking about burning in hell for a long time is from a point of view of bodily conception. Is talking from the bodily conception. So what does that mean? It is a material life in another dimension. That's all. It is nothing to do with spiritual life, or going back home, back to God. It has got nothing to do with that. It is only talking about burning in hell or moving to a heavenly kingdom. But it is once again a material conception. So whatever Arjuna is talking about is not something which will solve the problem uh, completely. It is only a stopgap arrangement. Therefore, whatever he's talking about is not a sound argument. That is what this all this thing Krishna will denounce in the first few verses in the second chapter, where he will chastise Arjuna that you are talking like a learned man, but it is not leading to anything good. So that you will see in the second chapter. Okay, I'll go to the next shloka. अहो बत महत्पापं कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयं यद् राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनम. So once again he's talking about swajanam udyata, driven by selfish motives. But here Arjuna is uh, once again talking about bodily conception. There is no deep thinking in here. So we need to understand that it is his determination to fight is severely affected because of his Pratyaksha and Hanuman Pramana. So now we need to see how Krishna will solve. Krishna will oppose each of this argument, or clarify each one of this argument, and give a valid reason why Arjuna has to fight this war. Yadimam apratikaram ashastram shastrapanaya dhardarashtra rane anyus tanme shema tarambave. This is the typical terrorist activity. Kshatriya fighting always is between equals and with equal arms. When here Arjuna is telling that even if he does not have any weapon, it is okay for Duryodhana to come and attack and kill him. So this is terrorist activity. So this is no way a good sign of Kshatriya. So we can see that Arjuna is clearly um, not taking the right step because of his Pratyaksha and Anuman. So over reliance on Pratyaksha and Anuman only moves us away from our own good, from our own well-being, which is Krishna consciousness. So when we have such situation in our life, we need to approach the authority. That is what happens in the second chapter. Now let us go to the next shloka. So this one we already discussed. These are all soft-heartedness of the devotee, though it is mental. So why soft-heartedness? Why Prabhupada is talking like this? Scriptures talk about um, different things. So one is soft-heartedness, which is one of the Vaishnava quality, which makes him perceptive of any good knowledge, perceptive for well-being, and perceptive for good advice from Krishna. But mental conception is that when we are affected by external information and we do not know how to make a decision, what happens to our mental stability? That is what is also that also comes out in the scriptures. So scriptures gives us all information. At some point the scripture by themselves will harmonize this, or acharyas do this. In this case, specific case, Prabhupada does the harmonizing activity, where he brings why Arjuna is under bodily conception and why this knowledge is given to Arjuna. So, so that is the act of. That is why we should not read the scripture on our own. We should always read it under the guidance of a proper Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. That is very important. So here, this is the last shloka here. Sanjaya Vacha Eva Muktva Arjuna Shankya Ratopastopavisat Visrajya Shasharam Shapam Soka Samvigna Manasa. So here we see that he is cast aside his bows and arrows. So what does this mean? This is his determination. So Arjuna's determination is affected by the whatever he has seen in the battlefield. So this is after listening to Bhagavad Gita in the last shloka, he says Sanjaya is telling once again, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Pato Dhanuddara Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruvanidir Madir Mama. So now the same Arjuna who put down his bows and arrows is ready to fight with all determination. So this bow and arrow is standing for his determination. Okay, so with this, we have come to the end of the first chapter. Now I have taken 6 minutes more because I wanted to close this entire chapter this week so that we can start the second chapter next week. So it is now open for questions. Please ask questions.
Hare Krishna. Prana Prabhuji, would you have something to ask?
No, Prabhuji, I'm good.
Okay. Well, a couple of questions come to my mind, if I may. So, Well, Prabhuji, we're already touching upon this point, but still, I would ask for some further insight of yours on this case. Well, especially you have an idea how the Western world is, and these are very sensitive subject matters to discuss these topics regarding gender. And then Srila Prabhupada makes this point that women are less intelligent, and also he relates that uh, being less intelligent, therefore they are to be considered not trustworthy. So why is this exactly? Because if one would say that a simpleton is not trustworthy, that would need some justification. Um,
Yeah, so the trust comes. See, we need some of the cases we need to uh, take at the pinch of it. For example, Prabhupada actually was telling that the uh, the intelligent people, or not Prabhupada, when Prabhupada studied in his in college days, in his Scottish, don't remember the name of the college where he studied. So when he was studying in his college, there was one common understanding that intelligent people will have larger brains,
hmm,
and the less intelligent people will have smaller brains. So when it came to when this point was spreading within the devotee community, so one of the Matajis came and asked Prabhupada, all the devotees tell that women have smaller brains. So, but Prabhupada told, don't worry about all this. As soon as you chant Hare Krishna, your brain will become bigger.
hmm,
So, does that mean that head becomes bigger? No, it is not that way. The best way to understand this is that our intelligence becomes bigger. Our outlook of looking at things becomes bigger. So, as soon as the women become Krishna consciousness, that way men become Krishna conscious, their outlook of the life changes. So, why women are not trustworthy? Because their body makeup is more focused on attraction, and women always feel insecure. That is also because of their bodily setup. How is this? This is as per Shastras. So, to take care of their security, they will do whatever they want. The best example that we could see from Shastric example is Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi wanted the kingdom for Bharat. So Rama trusted Kaikeyi to be the one of the best mothers, but he was defeated in that terms. So Kaikeyi was the reason for banishing her. So that is one. Second thing that we can see is that in case of Daksha Yagna, Parvati, who was daughter of Daksha, in spite of many warnings from Lord Shiva, she was not emotionally strong enough to avoid the Daksha Yagna. And because she did not understand, she was emotionally attached with her father or the father's family, so she gave up her husband. So her husband, who is the most trusted partner, she gave him up. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, and we can see Ramayana. Because of Kaikeyi's loss of trust on Rama, the entire Ramayana emerged. Because of the loss of trust of Parvati on Lord Shiva, the entire Daksha episode happened. So these are some of the symptoms So how to understand it? We have to understand that we need to be always in association of devotees. How to be in association of devotees? We have to be clear. We have to ask how I can take care of it in this specific situation. Why this is happening to me? That may not be the right question. How I can focus on my sadhana at this point of time without getting deviated. That's how we should focus. So probably Kaikei should have asked. This is once again a speculation. How I can serve Rama, how I can serve Lord Shiva so that his sadhana is taken care. That could have been a better way to address this situation. So that is how we should see it, Prabhu. So going back to your question, trustworthiness. Because of their emotional mood, they can swing from one side to the other. So
And if I dare add here, it seems that nowadays men are getting afflicted by the same to a great extent, also, isn't it?
So, Prabhu, the always it is association. We can see the Bharat Maharaja was emotionally attached to the deer,
Hmm.
and if you read through, and the sign there was compassion,
Hmm.
or the emotion there was compassion, and he was Kshatriya, and compassionate behavior of a Kshatriya is very natural. So there was, if you read through the purports, Prabhupada in one of the purports mentions that Bharat Maharaja did not have right association. He
Hmm.
always remained alone. So for us to ensure that we do not go out of our devotional track, we have to be in association. So men should take always take association of, I mean, brahmachari should always take association of brahmacharis. Um, Prabhus who are married should take association of women. Um, and sometimes he can take association of senior Vaishnavas or the Vaishnavas at his own level. Mataji should always take association of Prabhus whenever there is a doubt. Their husband,
Hmm.
father, elder brother, or eldest son, and so on. So that is how we can, we can explain this deeper insight of human relationships.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Well, Prabhuji, there was one thing I wanted to ask. We are running out of time, so you may just take this and consider. Maybe we can discuss this at some later point also. But I was wondering, as we were just today in our discourses touching upon on the topic of Varnashrama Dharma, so it would be very interesting to hear some of your thoughts as of how we could somehow contribute by little things or bigger things, but contribute in establishing the Varnashmara Dharma, which is the still remaining part of Srila Prabhupada's whole mission.
So many things we need to give up. I need to give up the city life. So where it starts from me.
Hmm, hmm,
Varnashrama Dharma has to start from me. So I need to move to a farm community as quickly as possible.
hmm, hmm,
So so that should be our drive.
hmm.
So finish off whatever responsibilities are there. If it is taking time, then see if you can cut some of them with proper guidance, and then move to Varnashram communities as quickly as possible.
So do I get the right understanding that you don't really see much scope in establishing Varnashmara Dharma in a city environment?
City environment, everything is, Prabhu, we need to give up, come outside this economy system.
Mm-hmm.
So we must have our own self-sustaining community or society where we
Mm-hmm.
don't need electricity, we don't need the financial setup, we don't need the irrigation facilities. The society should live on their own. So that requires a major. We need to actually move away from the societies, whatever is here. So
Mm-hmm.
man-made society is not good, but we need an alternate man-made society which has self-sustaining systems, and the focus there is Krishna, not focus of making money. So this is how we should focus, bro.
Fair enough.
So city life, we need to be there because we need people to join our farm communities, and
Mm-hmm.
the people are living in cities. So we must have centers in cities. We must have very beautiful deities, very beautiful temples in cities where we try to get people and then give them Prabhupada's books and good prasadam, have very good lectures, knowledge sharing sessions, and then bring them to the farm communities. So, so that is what we should focus on, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts with me first.
Yes, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
first. I first.
Yeah, that I couldn't deny. Okay. Thank you so much, prabhuji.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, Prabhu. Then thanks for joining. Thanks. Mancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhaya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय गौर
Jai.
हरे बोल हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू वेरी
Hare
मच
Krishna. Thank you.